Perfect. Perfect.
Well, hello everyone.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm sorry I'm late. I ended up taking my daughter to the movies, and we went in the movies and had no snow. And then come out of the movies, we have 2.5 inches, and it's coming down and it's icing up as fast as it's snowing. So it took me way longer to get home because
Well,
it
I
took
bet
me 50. Yeah, it took me 15 minutes to get over there, and then on the way home, it took me an hour. So yeah,
that's no fun.
but I made
No
it
fun
back.
at all.
So here we are. My hair's all kind of strange. Well, I can't help it.
Well, just roll with it. That's all we can do. Hey,
That's right. It
I'm
is
doing the
what it
bad thing
is.
too. So I'm doing the bad thing too. So this is about to get burnt before I leave this airwaves today. So
Right, right. Like I said, my hair looked nice when I left the house, but that's what happened.
oh
Can
man, it
everybody
is
hear
what it is,
Randy out
buddy.
there? He had to get a new mic. Can everybody hear him?
Well, I got a new one. I don't know how good it is, but I got a new one. Actually, I stole it from my daughter's area. If she ever comes in here, I won't know. She won't know it yet.
Right, right.
But anyway, so how else were you doing? You doing okay?
Oh,
And we're ready to roll with everything
well,
else. And
absolutely good. Absolutely good. I want to welcome everybody to Truth or Tinfoil, of course, where we're going to be going through some photos or, videos or anything, video clips online that we're not quite sure if they're real or not. So, this is where we're going to kind of break them down and take a look at them and decide if they're truthful or if we should put on our tinfoil hats. So,
exactly. So anyway, now you sent me one a while back, but we're gonna look at that later on in the show because you sent me the
okay.
one a couple of days ago that you took.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That one's one that caught me off guard because I saw one after you pointed it out to me that I didn't see when I first looked at it. I didn't see it
Yeah.
at all when I first looked at it. But when you brought it up, I was like, wait a second, that can't be, but it's there. But we'll look at that here in a minute. So
Right.
first one's gonna be a relatively famous one. This is gonna be one of the lady what do they call it, the lady of not Wrexham Hall, but it's an English photo from the 1930s is when this was taken, and I'm gonna go and bring it up here real quick. And as you can see, this is a well-known photo. Everybody's seen this probably a million times.
Yes.
And our biggest issue with this one is it's been debunked. I mean, it has been debunked. It's been recreated. It's been done 100 times. But there's still people who say, "Well, how could they do this? This don't make any sense. This don't make any sense." And as people talk about it, I'm going to zoom in here, and I want you to look at these marks along the top of the pads. You see them? See that little
Yeah.
light streak right there?
Yeah.
Normally, that's a telltale sign of a double exposure, i.e., that I shouldn't call it a double exposure. That's a telltale sign of an overlay, is what it is. When you put another picture of the same staircase over the top of itself,
Hmm.
that small little line right there is what you'll get a lot of times. Now, the gentleman that debunked this, he made himself up. I wish I'd gotten a picture that he had done after the fact, but he had made himself up, and he did not. It looked exactly like this when he did the overlay. And as you can see over here, there's no other reflections in the side, but we still get reflections right here for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your take
You
on
know,
this?
I'm trying to look at it, and I mean, when you're first describing it, you're saying it's from around the 1930s somewhere, and we all know that they didn't have the capabilities they have today
No,
to basically Photoshop something in.
exactly.
So, was this an actual picture from the 1930s that somebody, I guess, inserted the shadow figure later?
That is what was. In fact, I'm going to bring up the little excerpt I got from when I was doing the research on it real quick.
Yeah.
I'll bring this up real quick and see if I can bring it over here. All right, so we got this back up, and as I'm reading this, I'm gonna let y'all see that, let y'all hear this because this was taken on September 19th, 1936, by a captain and a London-based photographer working for Country Life magazine. Is when this was taken. Okay, and it was actually published in December 26th edition of, or correction, the January 4th, 1937 edition of Life magazine as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Harry Price was a noted paranormal investigator at the time. He interviewed these people that supposedly had set this up. A gentleman named Provand and his assistant Shira. Shira faked it. Some critics claim that Shira faked the image by putting grease or something on the actual lens, which, as you can see, there is. I'll even pull it back. I don't see any evidence of grease on a lens, quite frankly. I really don't. The streaks would be more pronounced because of the grease on a lens.
Right.
Now, there was a gentleman named Joe Nickel that did a detailed examination of the photograph, though, and this was, and I think it was 1956, if I remember right. Let me see if I can get my actual date right on that. Let's see here. Joe Nickel. Yeah, no, I take that back. He did this in 2008. I lied. This was in 2008 when Joe Nickel did this after the detailed examination, and it shows the evidence of the double exposure I was talking about. He said that they wrote there was a pale line above each stair tread, as you saw, as we saw right there, right?
Yeah, I see that. I see it.
Yep. And that pale line indicates that one picture had been superimposed over another. A patch of reflected light at the top of the right of the banister appears twice. See?
Huh. Well, yeah, because I mean that image is awful. What I would call crisp, very
Yeah.
clean. The lines
Yep.
are clean.
Yes. I mean, it looks like, and quite frankly, if somebody didn't know what they were looking at in the first place, it looks like a Lady Madonna. It looks like a Virgin Mary statue.
Yeah, yeah. That's a shame
So,
because that would have been an awesome picture.
yep. So, the more I read into this, and more I kept looking at it, people still argue toward it, but I mean, there's just too many coincidences of what it looks like and the different things for that time that they could fake with the different ways they could have faked it. It's easy to pick out nowadays where it wasn't back then. Much like
Yeah,
the famous Loch Ness, much like the famous Loch Ness monster photo, that was proven many years later. But there's still people that will believe that to this day because it has not, the person that did it has not been held feet to the fire because he was long gone when it was actually brought out. So,
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that because if you look at the walls and everything, they it's kind of hazy, like you would expect
yeah,
a picture in the 1930s to be taken. It'd be kind of
yeah,
hazy and things like that. But then you get to the wispy white figure there, and it, like I said, it just looks like the word I use is crisp. The
yeah.
lines are just
It
too fine. It
it
doesn't
looks
match the age of the picture
yeah.
at all.
It looks like something that was superimposed or done
Yeah,
as an overlay. As an overlay is what I like to call it.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And that's too bad.
guess what? I'm
Uh,
already ready. Are
Yep,
you ready this week?
there it is.
Okay, we got the
This is
tinfoils
what you
out for this
get
one.
this week, people. For this
Yep.
picture, it is definitely tinfoil. That's a shame.
Yeah, because it's a well-renowned picture and it's well known by a
Mine looks like a
lot.
Teletubby or a Hershey's Kiss.
Do you have a nice belly with a little picture on it?
I could go get a pillow and we can really do that upright.
Yeah, no kidding.
You
All
know, it's
right.
just like my mom's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I want to look like a Teletubby or something." Um, I don't. That's just a shame because there are so
Yeah,
many good pictures out there that I know for a fact that they're not faked.
yeah,
Um, it's very strange though. Mm,
yeah. Definitely, definitely. Like, okay, I'm gonna bring up this next one just because this is another one we talked about earlier in the week.
okay.
Let me bring this thing up real quick, see if I can get her to do what I want it to do. It never does what I want it to do ever. So, okay, once again, a very famous photo. It's on every time you search for any kind of ghost pictures of any kind. It's all over the place.
Hmm. Can you blow that up for us a little bit?
And I'm bringing it up right now.
There we go. Thank you.
Yep. Now you recognize that picture, right? You've
Yes.
seen it before. That one is Bachelor Grove Cemetery, and that was taken by some. If I remember right, way I was told it was taken by some amateur ghost hunters that were checking out the cemetery. I believe it was 1993 time frame when they did this. Now, quite frankly, I mean, yeah, okay. What they say it wasn't there, they said it wasn't there. That it was there, it wasn't there. It's changed two or three times from what research I can find on it. It's done its own thing a couple of times where they're okay. Yeah, they said that we stand by it 100%. Oh, wait a second, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. Stop changing stories first of all,
Right. Right.
and
I mean,
and
that
you
always
know,
that unfortunately that happens with fakes. You know, that really does happen. But you're the figure sitting in the middle is not transparent. Okay.
no,
Now I'm gonna tell everybody this because I know for a fact from my own experience, they are not always necessarily transparent.
no,
So, you got to kind of have to throw that out of there. Not all ghosts are transparent because sometimes when people see full-bodied apparitions, they are there as if they're real and alive and standing in front of you. So you got to kind of look at other things in the pictures that would make you think that this is a fake.
yeah, exactly, 100%. I mean, in the research on this, I found out later on that there was a gentleman named Heim that was part of that crew, and his daughter, her name was Eve, and she put a post out on this picture out on Facebook back in 2020. And she came on there, and I'm going to read it verbatim exactly what it says. It says, "I know this post is old, but my father, Howard Heim, was there the day that this photo was taken at and as he was a paranormal investigator, and he told me that they took a photo of one of the women in the group sitting on that stone and made it look like a ghostly photo. She did not want to participate in the investigation she's and stay there. So I know it's fake. And anytime someone talks about it, I tell them it's fake, and they think I'm lying, but I'm not. So why would anybody doubt the daughter of somebody who took it and who admitted to it?
And now, what year again was this?
She did this. She put that out in 2020, but this was taken in 1993, the way I understood it.
Oh,
So it's not an old photo. It's not a really old photo. It was
no.
at the first edge of the digital age.
Well, I'm looking at it too, and as in the 1990s, that doesn't look like normal clothing for the 1990s.
No, and that's why I said that he made it. They made it look like she was ghostly. Is the way I understood the post that she put.
Do you think it was like a lens flare that made that look kind of ghostly looking?
Nah, I think they doctored it somehow after the fact.
Oh, I just found it. I just found it. Okay, so where you can really tell is if you look at the trees and everything that's around it, they kind of are fuzzy. They don't look like very distinctive leaves. You know they're leaves, but they're not very distinctive. Like you can,
Yeah,
really
very,
make
very
them out when
pixelated.
looking at the picture. But if you look at the kneecap, this is
Yep,
what gave it away to me. There again is a
right here.
clean line where
Look at it right
everything
here.
else is kind of like ghostly,
Yeah,
misty looking. That kneecap has got a really clean line on it.
yeah. And you can see right here at the waist, it looks like they tried to make it to where it looked like she was almost translucent right there, like it was just shining
Yeah.
through. They tried, but when you got a straight line like that, that's a good
Yeah.
giveaway as well. You got distinct lines. I mean,
Yeah.
there shouldn't
And
be any mistake.
even in the 1990s, you could have got a photo way better than that. I think what they did is
Yeah,
they just made it look ghostly kind of, and then turned it black and white to make it look like it was older than it really is, and then just threw it out there, because if that picture was taken in 1990, it'd have been a lot better than that.
I would have thought so too. And they weren't doing a digital photo, I don't imagine at that time. I imagine this went onto film. So that's just my personal
Uh,
opinion.
it'd have been film for sure.
I would have thought so. Yeah.
So if
I
it was
haven't found
on,
anything. Yeah,
yeah.
I haven't
So
found
if
anything that said
you're
anything different.
right, so if you're using a camera that uses film, you know that one little twitch of your arm can screw up the whole picture.
Mhm.
For us that are old enough to remember that, I mean, one
Yeah,
little, everything's blurred, and you're like,
everything's
oh,
gone.
I just
Yeah.
messed up that whole picture.
Yep. Just one flick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who we got? We got anything over here? Dates happen every day. I'm just looking over at the chat. This is our first live, as y'all know, and so
Oh
we're
yeah,
also
I'm
looking.
paying attention. For some reason, I can't get on chat on my tablet, which where's where I normally watch everything from. I can't get
Yeah,
on chat. I'm absolutely kicked out. I don't know what happened. I
you
don't know
got
what's going on.
banned. You got banned.
It's not letting me do a thing. So I'm kind of like, I mean, when it rains, it pours around here. If I got one problem, I got 10. It's like, there is nothing happening here. Oh, there it is. Yay. Got everybody. If I didn't say hi to you, really, I wasn't ignoring you. I promise. It's just been one of those rough days. It really
Oh yeah, it
has,
sounds like
because
it.
I'm sliding in here at 5:01 trying to get everything all set up. That's why we were a few minutes late, because I literally came in, threw my stuff down, and came in. So,
I said it was a tech issue, but okay, if you want to take the blame, I'm good with that.
well, it was a kind of a tech issue because you were still messing around with your mic as we started to. So,
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
there's
well,
some truth.
I
It's
needed
not
somebody
all
to tell me because
tinfoil.
I would have had it turned up too loud or something, or I'd have been leaning into it about like this right here. And there's no telling who I'd have blowed out the water. So
Right. I mean, if it's my fault, I'll claim it.
no,
I will
just there you go.
definitely claim it. Yeah. Brandy, just relax now. Absolutely. I feel so much better. That was, I mean, I didn't feel bad. I had my Jeep out. We're running in 4-wheel drive. We're doing good. The only thing that was a little stressful is that the where I'm at, we get more ice than snow, but we're getting a lot of snow, but it's still wet from the rain that came in. So there's a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
ice out there, and that's what it's doing. As soon as it's hitting, my whole Jeep was ice. So,
Oh well, now since we did that too, we need to go ahead and
oh
ring.
yeah. Oh, whoop.
Yeah,
There's the
that was
next
a
one. Okay,
tinfoil
look.
guy.
I gotta get it on.
Uh,
I made this for my hat. I need to put on my
well,
hat. Okay, so
you just have to deal with it. You got all that crazy hair, so you got to deal with it.
yeah, it doesn't. My crazy hair doesn't fit. I'm gonna have to make a different one that has like little bands or something, like a
Yeah.
dunce hat. But
I'm not gonna
unfortunately, see,
say
these are so sad though.
anything.
These pictures are so entirely sad, because
Yeah.
to catch something like that would be
Yeah.
just phenomenal. They would be awesome pictures
Oh,
if we
agree.
could just, you know,
100% agree.
and I
One.
don't care what you say. The pictures we're still getting today that are hoaxes or fakes,
Yeah,
you
and
can
they're harder to
see,
pick
you
now.
can still see
Yeah, for the most part,
the
but they're harder to
imperfections
pick out
that
now.
it doesn't flow.
No, there's something
Doesn't make
wrong. There's always something off.
I know there's something always wrong, and it's just it might take you a few minutes, but if you keep
Yeah.
looking at it, looking at it, looking at it, you'll see it eventually.
Yep. That's like not in the army. We call it a calibrated eye. When you're sitting
There
there
you
lining up the
go.
ribbons, when you're sitting there lining
There
up
you
the
go.
ribbons and stuff, they have to be exactly right, or you're in trouble.
Oh, absolutely. And I have been looking at these pictures like this for decades. So I'm kind of zoned into what I really need to look for. And it's just a shame. You don't there's so much activity out there that you don't have to fake these. You really don't.
Yeah. No, I mean you can find it. You can find 100 things. Why would you want to? Because these get into magazines, especially at that time, they get into magazines. They get out through word of mouth. So that's why they became famous, such famous, pictures, and why they're still looked at today. Whenever you, like I said, do an internet search on ghostly pictures, there they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Okay, sorry guys, I am fighting a little bit of a head cold thing going on here, so that's why I keep muting it because I'm like I ain't gonna cough in front of these people or
Oh, I
think I'm
know.
blowing them out the
Well,
water.
because we were wondering if you were going to be on today.
It
Um,
was close. I could
because I
easily
was
go back and go to bed.
right, right, right. So, I mean, there is that. I mean, we were wondering if you were going to be on, and it was me who was late. Go figure.
Well, once again, it's the army training. If you're 10 minutes early, you're late.
I- What is that? If you're not first, you're last.
And yeah. If you're not first,
Ricky
you're a loser.
Bobby.
Yeah, that's. Oh, we finished second. No, you still lost. You lost. If you're not first, you lost.
Right, right,
But
right.
um, so now there's another one before we get into yours. There's another one that I
Okay.
really was. I was really surprised at this one when I actually did the research on it. I accounted this one honestly at one time as one of my favorite ghostly photos of all time because it was like a great capture, I thought. But once again, those that hadn't seen this before, this is what's known as the Wim Town Hall fire picture that shows obviously looks like a little girl, right? I never knew what I was looking at before until I started doing this research. I never knew what I was looking at until I got it under the actual photo software and did some more research on it because somebody had already done all the photo software for me. In fact, this was done in 1936, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
Hang on just a second. I will tell you real quick. It was. Oh, let's see. I know I'm moving stuff around because I forgot to bring up my little cue cards here. So
So that was done in the 1930s again.
yes, this was done in the 1930s again. Okay. Now, where you at? It was taken. It was cinema 1934. It burnt down. I take that back. I lied. During the fire, this fire was actually in 1995. This fire was in 1995. The town hall became a cinema in 1934
Okay.
and was reopened after the fire. That this fire happened in 95. The fire they restarted it up, and now it's a community art center. In 2000 was when it was revamped into a community art center. Well, this picture was taken during that fire in 1995. It's by a sewage farm worker who was an amateur
Hmm.
photographer. Okay. He sent the photo for analysis to the Association for Scientific Study of Anomalous Phenomena, ASAP. I've never heard of them before, but hey, it sounded really cool to make a big old acronym out of it. So, either way, all right, we'll let them. They looked at it and they thought there was wood laying on a railing that was burning that gave that aura. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, first of all, I don't see any wood on any railing anywhere.
You're right.
That that's not wood. That railing right there is not wood. So how would you have wood on that railing if there's no wood there?
Hmm.
So, okay, don't think much about it, but Skeptical Inquirer obviously picked this up quick. So, this guy Blake Smith with the Skeptical Inquirer, he says, later analysis of the photographic officers of the National Media Museum concluded the photograph was doctored. A negative made of the photograph, the original photograph,
Mhm.
or of this photograph, not the original, showed the horizontal scan lines consistent with those of a television image across the
Mhm.
image of the girl, which, as you can see, as I zoom in, you can almost see them right here. That
Yeah.
you can see the lines where it's been superimposed. So
Yeah.
immediately, obviously, and I mean, look here, it's obviously taking out some of the pillar right
Oh,
there,
yeah,
the
I
wall.
see. I see the light there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and it turns out 5 years after the death of the photographer in 2010, there was a resident that came back and said they, excuse me.
Oh, we gotta wait for him to stop coughing again.
Well, and I mean, when it doesn't want to stop it, I ain't stopping it either. But what happened was there was a local resident, 77-year-old local resident. He debunked it
Yeah.
as a fake, showing that the girl in the photograph was superimposed from an image of a girl printed on a postcard that appeared in a local paper in 1922. So that little girl right here is from a postcard in 1922.
Wow.
And they put her into that fire.
Huh. Well, Pancho Zorts wants to know, is it true there's a substance that when released into the atmosphere can distort photos?
Well, there's a bunch of substances that can distort photos,
Regular
especially.
campfire smoke can distort
Yeah,
a photo.
yeah,
Black ice can do it.
yeah. Ammonia
There's so many
vapor,
things that can distort a photo.
any kind of vapor will
Extreme
distort a
heat.
photo. Yeah,
Yeah, extreme heat can distort a photo.
just like you're
Um,
looking at the horizon and you see the heat waves
yeah,
coming off
like I
of it.
said, it can distort. There's many things that can, and unfortunately, there's some people that are out there just taking pictures and calling this, paranormal or supernatural, when in fact it's just an act of nature. So, Pacho says flatulence. Well, just depending on how strong it is, you know.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. Thanks, Poncho. It's
Yeah, I mean, we
I've
did
done
get
that
on
one
a
a few times.
conversation the other night about methane gas. If they can measure methane gas, I'm yeah, it could be that too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, but yeah. So that one actually broke my heart because I actually, like I said, for a long time I loved that photo, and I thought it was where it needed to be. It needed to be. Hey, this is it right here. This is it. And then I saw this, and then I hadn't even thought about it in years until I started doing the research. I was like, you got to be kidding, really?
Right, and if you look by her head,
Yeah.
um, that light that is shining on the door itself right
Yep.
there.
Yep. It's a telltale. I
Yeah,
mean, that photo went around that thing instead
yeah,
of being. There's not even a line where it should be,
right, right.
So, but now I that's ain't much I can do about that. I just had to wallow in my own self pity that I got taken.
Did that hurt your feelings?
Yes, it did.
There's a bunch of them that hurt my feelings, even ones that I've taken. It's like I'm looking at me just when you think you've got something, then all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah.
ah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me. I'm
Then you
like,
figure it
oh,
out.
look here.
I mean, and of course we always talk about pareidolia, and
Mhm.
not everything is a face in the trees. Not everything is a body or something in made in the rocks in the distance. And you've really got to check these things out. And as we always say, when in doubt, throw it out, because there'll
Yeah.
always be somebody like us going, hey, that
It
doesn't
could
look
be.
quite
It
right.
could be. Yeah. Okay. So that one gets a
Yeah.
big fat and it gets a lot of
Yeah, it gets
anger
a big
from me
fat
on it.
one. And the thing about all of this is that I am my own worst skeptic when it comes to my own photos.
Yes.
I
Which
am
is
the
what we're about
worst.
to get into.
My hat's too high. I'm just gonna have to, like I said, I need to wear my hat because I made this from ball caps. but it'll fit.
I can't help if you didn't throw your ball cap on for you guys.
But I am protected now.
I'm just happy the Cowboys thing gets blurred after that.
I am protected from the aliens at the Mall of Miami, and so I'm good.
Please don't bring that one up again.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to. We've been talking about that, and I'm just like,
You just want to smack
okay.
people, don't you?
Well, no. What it is that people, again, take a video or a photo and they just run with it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, they're like they're grasping at straws out there, and they're like, that looks like an alien. How does it look like an alien? You can't see it. This video is taken from so far away that it's when it's zoomed in, it's so pixelated, you can't make out what it is.
Exactly.
You can't even tell.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. Oh, I agree
mean,
100%.
You know, and I guess that's the whole premise of the show is to really deep dive into this stuff. I mean, if anyone has any pictures out there that you think are real or really cool or whatever, hey, send them to us. Send them to us. Yeah. You know, we would love to look at them, because that's what me and Randy do. We're big skeptics, and we like to look at this. You know, and sometimes, as much as I would argue that something was real, I turn around and it wasn't. So,
you
know, there's many things out there, you know, but I'm going to lead up into this. Is this picture mine? The next one?
No, this one is the one because Andrew came up with this one, and I just happen to have it because this is my go-to for.
This is one of my top 5. This is one of my top 5 pictures. Because that picture right there is, they cannot debunk this. They can't. There is no way. There's none.
Nope,
and they've tried.
They've tried. They tried everything under the sun, and this was, early 70s.
Yeah. Can you blow that up where we can see the kid in there?
Yep.
Well, I don't know if it's a kid. But you can see his little face and his little eyes and even the hairline and nose and mouth up there. That one is at the Amityville home, and there was nobody there. There was no children in the home.
Nope, and that was taken after everybody left except for Ed and Lorraine Warren's.
Yep, wasn't this taken by them?
Yeah, it was their photo. Somebody tried to tell me it was the news crew had captured it or something, but no, it was actually Ed's apprentice /
right. Well, I just saw Bob Van Buren. He's in the chat.
Oh,
and we had a real big discussion about this picture.
Yeah.
And this one, like I said, is in my top 5 of all time creepy pictures.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with it, because it
no. You can see his torso down here too. You can see part of his torso, but it's just
almost like he's wearing pajamas.
Yeah, but he's just between these two and the main here and the runners, the balusters. He's between them, but there's nothing.
It all lines up. It all lines up.
He should have more here. There should be more here. There should be something else other than just that little bit of tufted hair, but there's nothing back there. You can see the little bit right there as well. So, and the glowing eyes, of course, that's just that would be for anybody in that situation from the IR. Obviously.
Well, we all know that when taking pictures back in the 60s and 70s with the flash and all of that, we could have the red eyes or the glowing eyes or what have you. And depending on what they were using for their flash, what Ed and Lorraine Warren were using for their flash at the time, that could produce it too. But
this wasn't flash. This was what he set up with his assistant. This was not flash. This was IR at that time. He had a monster IR emitter that would take, and they took time-lapse photos throughout the entire night.
They had night vision back in that day?
Yeah, yes, they had, night filters is what they call it, but yes, they did.
Okay, night filter. Okay, all right. That makes more sense to me. Okay.
The IR illuminates it, and the filter. That's why everything's not as crisp.
So this would
What
be
you used to see.
now. I'm not really big on what was happening in the 60s and 70s with photography, but I know that they were doing time lapse photos. Could this be one of those?
That's exactly what this was. They set up
A time
for, I
lapse
think it.
photo. So they just opened up. Okay.
Oh no,
Okay.
not a long shutter setting, but an actual
Okay.
time lapse. Time lapse it takes a picture every minute, 12 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever the interval is, and it'll take a picture. And it's like,
Oh,
have you seen the
okay.
videos where
Okay.
somebody's standing in front of a mirror and it looks like the world's moving around behind them and stuff? For
Right, right,
they
right.
watch their beard grow and everything, because every day at one
Thank
particular
you,
time they go
Andrew.
and take a picture.
Right,
Thanks,
right.
Andrew. So,
So you're talking about photo bursts, basically.
um, no, that's what you call a time lapse, because what you're referring to is what's called uh, a long exposure. That's what I was looking for. The word
There you go.
long
Thank you.
exposure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Long
you. Yes,
exposure.
that is extended
Okay.
exposure.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep.
That's like when you go out to take pictures of stars at night without a digital camera. You had to open the reticle. You had to open it up and let it sit there for 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get an actual picture.
Right. Wow. Okay.
So, but
Okay.
anyway, so there's our creepiness, because we still to this
That
day.
is but like I said, that is one of my top 5. Um, Two of my favorite pictures were taken by the same photographer in 2 different places, which we're not going to talk about that on this show because that's that those are just absolutely fantastic,
Yeah.
But one of them is the lady that's standing in the hallway at Waverly Hills Sanitarium there in
Oh yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah, I've
Um,
heard about that one.
yeah, and we'll
I
talk
haven't never
about
actually
those
seen
on
it.
another show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I mean, but this leads me up to this picture that I took.
Yes.
Now, my daughter, my
Ready?
youngest daughter, and myself, we like to take these trips. Every year, we'll pick out a haunted hotel, one of these famous ones, and we'll go travel there and take a little vacation, her and I. She loves the haunted hotels, and we always take like the ghost tours and all of this other kind of stuff. And she decided, not not this 2023, but 2022, she decided, hey, let's go to the Crescent Hotel
Yeah.
in Arkansas. And I'm like, yeah, because that one's supposed to be really haunted. Let's just check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, and
You're ready.
looking into it, I was like, oh my gosh, these rooms are like $300 a night. I'm like,
Yep.
dear God, and for some
I don't want to go
reason,
there.
yeah, for some reason I got this little blip thing from the hotel itself because I was keeping track of prices. Got this little blip and they had like 30 to 40% off a night if you go during the week, and I got it super cheap. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, let's go during the week. She says, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. So we ended up taking the tour of Eureka Springs. We took that
Okay.
whole tour, downtown, the haunted downtown, and
Yeah.
the catacombs down in there underneath the street. And we took the one of the hotel itself, which
Yeah.
that one's fantastic. And so we're just kind of messing around. My daughter's fearless, she knows what we're doing.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I'm going to run around this corner and I'm going to go into this room around here. It's on the other side, but she says, I'll be right back. I'm like, okay. She goes, I'll only be down there for a little bit. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
This kid has no fear. And then she's like, well, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm like, okay, you just do that. That's not a problem. She's just fearless. She's she's a mini me. She's a really good investigator. Um, so we had gone our hallway the night before. we were hearing stuff out there, and we know that they have tours going through the hotel. This is all part of this hotel. They do
Yeah.
have tours, and you can hear these people walking through, and they're done by about 11. I think 11 o'clock is like their latest one, and they're done by then. And her and I were, in our room, and we're sitting on a corner, and we just kept hearing stuff, hearing stuff, hearing stuff. We're like, what is that going on? I said, I don't know. So we decided we're not going to go out there. We're just going to go back to sleep, rest up, because, the next day is a big one, because we had all the tours to take and go visit the town and everything. So we took the tour of the hotel. And as I was going down the hallway, right on the corner of where my room is, I'm going down that little hallway, and there's a door there that leads outside, and there's kind of like a patio. It's up on the second floor. I think we were the second or third floor. I can't remember right this moment. Second or third floor, but there's a little patio out there, and then there's a stairwell that goes up to the floors upstairs for emergencies or whatever. So I am just standing there looking, and I told her, I said, I'm gonna take a picture of these windows, and I said, I'm getting a big glare from my hair, and that's another reason why I wore my hair down for the show, is because you can see how fluffy it is. Okay, so you can definitely see my head in the glare of the glass as I'm taking the picture. I said, I told my daughter, I said, stand behind me so I don't get you in this picture.
Yeah.
So I took a few pictures, and I didn't even bother looking at them.
Yeah.
Didn't even bother. I'm just gonna, So the next morning, I'm looking through them, and I'm like, honey, can you tell me what this is? She says, oh, Mom, what is that? She said, what is that? So I had to, and I'm totally looking at this one particular part in the picture. Some of you may have seen it before, and some of you might not have. But we kept looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. So why don't we go ahead and show the picture, and then I will describe what else is going on. Okay, so if you can take the cursor there and kind of circle where my head is. Yeah, you can see where my head is. So, my hair was down, so there's a big thing. Okay, so off to the right-hand side, there is an actual living person in this picture. The right-hand side, he's up there in the corner. He's got a black hat on, and he's right up there. Right. No. Down. Right, there you go. Right in there. Right. He's right in there. But he was walking into the picture as I was taking it. He was behind me in the reflection, just walking down the hallway. So he was actually behind me, and he was coming through.
This guy right here.
Yeah, that guy right there. Right. So if you look to the far left of this picture, this is the one thing that I saw that stood out to me. It's on the right-hand side. There she is right there. Can you make that a little bigger? Yeah, there she is. Do you see her?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's very pronounced.
Yeah. She was not there, everybody. There was nobody there. Nobody.
Yeah, and that's what's amazing to me is, she looks out of a period of time that it doesn't belong. Okay. Right.
So the next morning I went downstairs, and I was talking to the lady at the front desk, and I'm like, look at this, look what I caught. I said, this lady wasn't there. She was not there. I checked around before I took the picture, and when I took the picture, that guy just happened to come out from the other hallway. And you can look at him closely, and he is walking. She looks like she's sitting there and staring at me. So the lady at the front desk says, hey, there's a picture over there. There's like a bookcase where they sell their T-shirts and things like that. And there's a bookcase, and she said, there's a picture over there of a lady. Go look at that, because that looks like her. I go over to that picture sitting on that bookcase over there, and sure enough, they are almost identical. almost identical. And what it was is during the winter time, this place would become a school for, I wouldn't call it girls and I wouldn't call it women. I would say for them to learn etiquette,
Okay.
the proper ways of being a lady.
As
This
you
is
say
what
in
they
Texas, charm school.
right. This is what they would do during the winter time because it used to be a resort when it a long time ago where people would come during the summer and then slow times they would let the ladies come in and go do their schooling through the winter time.
Okay. Hang on a second. You got something from
So I'm
Tina
like,
in there asking.
I do not believe she does. I've looked at this and looked at this. She does not seem transparent at all.
No, she doesn't.
She looks like she's in there in the physical, which we've
Yeah.
talked about this before about seeing a full bodied apparition. They do not have to be
No.
transparent at all. Because there are people, you hear the stories about, oh, yeah, I was talking to the lady at the museum and
Yeah.
I don't know where she went. And then they're going, well, what lady? There's nobody else here. What lady are you talking about? So, I mean,
Exactly.
we have incidences of that. But what makes this picture so crazy is that if you'll look on the other side, on the left side of me, or on the right side of me, sorry, the ladies on the left, look on the right side of me. You will
Okay.
see something standing there as if it were wearing a hat. And you can see the face on it. It becomes a little wispy down towards the bottom, but it looks like another entire manifestation standing right there on the side.
Almost like this is a hoodie too.
It looks like a hat. Now I kept asking around about what would this be? What would this be? And then finally, one of the guys that was driving the bus, he's one of the volunteer firefighters. He said, "Well, back in," and I forgot exactly what year he told me. I wish I'd have been listening better. But he says that looks like one of the fire hats that they would wear at the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. It kind
Right.
of looks like I can see that. Yeah, right
Yeah.
here.
And he said that looks exactly like the fire hat back in and I want to say he said the 40s, I want to say, or something like that, the 40s or
Probably. Yeah.
50s or something. And he said it looks exactly like that. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's possible. But now the one that looks white and misty, that is the typical manifestation style of what people would see when they say, I've seen an apparition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's kind of focused in, he's kind of not, if it is a
Yep.
he, and but yet then he kind of wispies out like he's in like some type of,
Different
I don't
phase.
know if he was manifesting in or out at that
Yeah.
point. And
Hard to
that,
say.
and that's what people say that they do. But the lady on the other hand, she's in full color, she's right
Yeah.
there. And I will let everybody know there were no pictures on the walls in the hallway, no flowers, no
Yeah.
furniture. This place was bare.
Well, I'm gonna
There
tell you
was just
straight out.
walls and carpet.
Looking at that right there,
Yeah,
that looks nothing like a picture. I mean, it looks like a picture. Don't get me wrong, but there's
right.
nothing to show it as a true picture. That looks like she is literally right over your shoulder because there's your shoulder right there.
Yep. And it's
She's
funny how the one
It's
is on
back
the other
about
side.
5 foot off of your shoulder, and this one looks like he's about maybe 3 foot off your shoulder back there.
Right. Right.
Now, the one
So
thing I
I
say
mean,
about
there
this
they
right here,
are. There, that's
yep,
two different forms of manifestation in one picture,
yeah,
which is for me clearly unheard of.
I've never seen it. Usually,
I've never seen it
it
either.
you get one, or you get a shadow, and maybe a little bit more of a solid manifestation, but you don't
Or
get
you'll
two
get one
equally solid.
good picture. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll get one good apparition that you can take a picture of. But here you can clearly see two.
Well, and the one thing I say about this one, if you look at it real close, think about the 20s, 30s, and 40s, the people that wore the brooches. Kind of looks like the head of one of the brooches, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like a cameo.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
it
That's
does.
exactly.
But the lady in
So,
the picture that they had downstairs in the lobby, that looks just like her. That looks just like her. And they're like, "Well, is that your daughter?" Well, no, my daughter was actually standing behind me, and my daughter was wearing glasses.
yeah,
She
I
had
mean
her
that there's
her
no
her glasses on.
well, I mean that looks like, I don't want to say Victorian, but honestly, it looked like it could easily be Victorian clothing right there.
Yeah, or it's pearls or something
I'm
elegant
talking about
that
the
that,
white
that they were wearing.
because that's a white shoulder. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
white blouse on a shoulder is what it looks
Yep.
like to me. So
Absolutely.
I, I don't think I could. There's no way I could debunk it because obviously I haven't been to that place. But obviously it's hard to tell one way or the other. But looking at that, if you take it all and took, I mean, because there's a
Yeah.
light in the
And
background, there's a light in the background, and there's that buffalo. Is that a buffalo right there?
no,
What is that?
nothing.
I don't know what half this stuff. I know it's a reflection in the mirror or in the window as you take the
Yeah,
picture,
I
but I don't
that
know.
has that might have been from taking it from outside to inside. I don't know what that is reflecting off of. So,
Yeah,
like I said, when in
I
doubt, I
can't
just
tell.
threw that out. I wasn't trying to put anything there. I went with what I could see.
Oh no, I was thinking more along the lines like a buffalo drawing is what it looked like. Honestly, at
Yeah,
one
but
point, but
there was nothing on the
there's nothing
wall.
there.
There's
Yeah,
nothing on
there's
the wall.
nothing
There's
there.
no pictures, no flowers, no furniture, nothing. So it's just hard to say. But like I said, those right there are two true forms where
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
you
deny
can
those.
distinctly see them.
Yeah, you can't deny that there is something standing there. Whether you believe
Exactly.
it that it's real or it's a hoax, that's up to you. That's not what I'm here to prove. I'm just telling you,
Yeah,
I took it with my camera and this is what I got.
yeah, that's kind
Yeah.
of yeah, and I obviously I can't debunk it because, like I said,
Right. Well, because
how
everybody
would I?
talks about the metadata and all of that.
Oh,
I got the metadata.
I don't even care about that part. I mean, even
Yeah,
if you had
I've got it. I
metadata,
mean,
if you have
uh,
everything under the sun, there, if you were to put something on there, any kind of a Photoshop of some sort, there will be something when you
mhm,
blow it up that will be a telltale sign.
right,
There almost always is.
right,
So,
right. Which
but
makes it just yeah, which makes it weird because like I said, my daughter was standing directly behind me because I told her, I said, I'm getting a big old glare because of my big head. So
yeah, yeah,
she
that big
did.
old head's in the way. What the heck?
Yeah. Yeah. And if she were standing next to me, you would see her reflection would be the same as my reflection.
Yeah, I
Look like
mean,
a little bit of glare.
of course, we've seen you obviously before, so we
Right.
could tell your reflection right off the bat. There's
Yep.
no doubt. But yeah, the others, I mean, like I said, I
Yeah.
didn't even
Those
know it's
two
her.
other
Remember,
ones.
yeah, when you were tell me about her the first time, I was still looking up here because I saw these lights coming through the trees right here. I thought that's what you were talking about. I was like, no, that's just lights coming through the tree limbs. What are you talking about? And there's a little
Y-
smudge right here. I'm like, I don't know if that's on the glass or what. And then you said, no, look down. Oh crap! How did I miss that? I mean,
Right.
like
There it
I
is
wasn't
right in
looking
your
for it.
face.
Yeah, because I
That's it.
wasn't
It's
looking
right
for
in
it.
your
I was
face.
looking for something here. So
Right.
I don't know why.
Right, because
But
if you this is kind of like a condensed picture of it. This is we brought it in so we could bring it in some more. But if you're just looking at it, all you see is just the whole entire door with my head in there. That's all you see.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
But we sure had to really dig in there and look at that. That was just one of the strangest pictures that
And
I
that's not
had.
even the normal size picture. That's the one you blew up for me, or you sent to me that's
Yeah,
blown up. So I mean,
yeah. Because the other one is just the full door is in the frame. That's all you see is the full door because I was standing back.
yeah,
The hallway's not that long, so I did, kind of stand back from the window because I wasn't using flash, but I didn't want to get a big huge glare. And like I said, I waited till everybody was out of the way. My daughter was behind me, and as soon as I snapped that picture, that guy and came right down the hallway, and I was like, dang.
actually, that one
But
was
little did
zoomed
I
in.
know it didn't matter.
This is the one that was more zoomed in.
Yeah, and you can tell him because he's got a beard and he's got I think black shirt, black pants and a ball cap on. So if you look at this picture and see him at any spot, that person is real.
Yeah, right back over. He's back over here actually, because this is the one
Right.
that you blew up. The one originally you sent had him right back in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. But anyway, so there's
Either
one
way,
that
it's a great
I can't
capture all
put
the
my
way
hat
around.
on for. Yeah, I can't put my hat on for that one. That one is for all intents and purposes. Plus, I had other people look at it in the paranormal world. Very famous people check it out, look at it, and analyze it, and they can't debunk it either. So I have something, actually that is
Yeah,
real,
definitely.
something real
I
and
agree.
fantastic.
I agree. I mean, that's literally that's a hell of a capture. It really is.
One in a million. One
Yeah,
in a million.
story is. But hey,
But anyway, we're at the end of the show already.
yeah, we're already at it, ain't we? So we had
Yeah.
fun
Thanks for
as
everybody for
usual,
coming. We appreciate
and
you.
I think Texas tonight at 8 o'clock Central
Yeah,
is
Texas Front Porch and Infamous Minds is coming on at 8 p.m. this evening. I'll be on the show with Krista, and we're going to go over the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case, since it was here in Missouri. So we're going to go over that. It's very strange anyway. It's all over the news right now because Gypsy Rose just got released from prison, just a little while ago. So that's going to be on at 8 p.m. tonight. And that's it for us today.
yeah, just normal stuff. Keep going with Texas Front Porch this week, guys. Show them all the love you can.
Yes.
I put the links in all in my channel's little stuff. I didn't do too much on the Front Porch channel, sorry, but I'm still getting used to having to run one, so I like being on the back side of the camera.
Well, that's okay. I just want to remind everybody out there, if you have not hit the like, subscribe, and notification button, please do that now before you leave. It'll sure help us out because Randy and I started this from scratch, 0 subscribers. We're
Yay.
just trying to build it and see where we can go with this. This is really cool topics, and we just want to keep going.
We
So,
want to have fun with it too.
yeah,
And if
that
you have any
too, that
submissions,
too, that
if you
too.
got
And
any pictures and stuff, send them to us. Send it to me on email.
right. And we want to thank Andrew again for your donation. We appreciate you. And we'll see everybody next time on Truth or Tinfoil. Bye, everybody.
Bye.